People Media Enterprise is basically a company that is into events management, publishing and advertisement, but our focus right now is into events, and we have our signature event, which is the Inter-University Media Challenge. Actually, this brings universities together, students who are into media, as a core course to compete in like 3 categories. That's news anchoring and reporting, essay writing, and of course photography. So the way this came up, really, it was just how we were stuck in terms of getting internship in the media, but also getting jobs in the media is one of those hardest things for any Ugandan aspiring journalism student.
It started at school where we sat. We said we do mass communication, and the jobs are very hard to get, especially in our field, journalism. So we decided to start a competition within our institution.
But the whole idea is to try to help students penetrate the media. Not only penetrating the media, but giving them skills that they need to work in the media.
By then we called it Barley Francis Media Challenge. By then people participated in that competition within the institution, and it was successful. So after school, immediately we said, can we take it out? Immediately we drafted our concept. We started going out in sponsors, in different televisions. The good thing, every station welcomed the idea. So we started with Barley Francis Media Challenge.
We decided to start this challenge to create a platform for students to interact with the media by students showcasing their skills, and then the media coming in to guide them, to assess them, and to give them assistance in any way. But most importantly, to scout directly from this competition. So we started in 2012, and now here we are. We're celebrating our 3rd birthday this year on 8th November 2014.
The first thing we need is a confirmation from the university. After university confirming what happens, you form a news team. And forming a news team of 10 people, you have 2 anchors and 8 reporters. So at the end of the day, you start preparing. And universities who have been moving, they have internal auditions. So they would call you that we're having an internal audition, come and help out, come and see our team, how we are performing. So after the university confirming, it's now a requirement of students to form those small groups, Luganda and English, and be able to participate in this competition.
6 universities stroke institutions, because we have also media institutions that are not universities also participating in this. So we had 6, and last year we grew to 8 of them, and this year we are having 10 universities, which shows you that we are not only growing, but people actually believe in this competition.
In our debut event, we noticed that we had a few challenges with the way the work was submitted, and we felt it was easy. The event could take too long, and then some people were saying we need to look at ourselves later on. We wanted something that is the exact replica of what is done in the newsroom. So we said, why don't we shift from getting the reporters on stage, where someone just stands here and then they do a narration or a narrative, and why don't we task them to go to the field and then show us what they got? So we are trying to see that it becomes much more practical, and we involve all the other departments. Why? Because not all of them are going to be anchors or reporters.
Kolekayo nnyo munnaffe nga tuwunzika mawulire gaffe ag'olunaku olwaleero katubawo emitwe emikulu egigabaddemu. Kitalo omugagga Fred Sebunnyo olunaku olwaleero lwazikiddwa mu maka ge ag'olubeerera.
Kampala University itaye mu bulungi bwange.
2 years when we started off, the Luganda teams were the best, maybe because Luganda is the native language and someone feels very comfortable communicating in the local language. But this year it's been, I don't know whether it's because of the practices, but it's been superb. The English teams put up quite a show, and I'm confident it's going to be a tie. It's not going to be easy for the judges.
We have judges that were selected based on their competences, a time frame that they have spent in the media that makes them give compliments or give an assessment of a news bulletin or a news anchor or a presenter. If I could just list them, you have like Bale Francis, who has been in the media for like forever. He has trained like each and every person almost on the news, on the TV these days. Frank Walusimbi, who is on NTV. You have Samuel Setumba, you have Linda Chivombo, Dane Chaze. These are all guys really that have been in the media for like a very long time, and they are authorities in what they are doing. But most importantly, if you look at our guideline, we have developed a guideline, which is like a criteria based on the like competencies that anyone would be looking out for in a news anchor. So things like voice quality, things like intonation, word pronunciation, things like pace and flair of your voice, the rhythm. Of course, these are things they already know about, but we have developed a criteria for them to follow and give scores. We have them pronounce their impartiality. We have them, like pronounce they're being like completely impartial and neutral in this media challenge. And I can state it clearly that there is nowhere that any of these judges would have, a bias over any other institution.
I'm hoping the guys who are presenting the different news bulletins have legit work that will put the judge on pressure, because the art of presenting well, of being a winner, is to put the judge on pressure so that he chooses the best of the best, not the worst out of the best.
I got over my stage fright. I now do emceeing, not just for the sake of it, but for income.
That is what I think it added on a lot of creativity and the way I think about everything in journalism.
And I am now looking forward to making it bigger, because at least I could walk into a media house and ask them, can I do fellowship with you? And at least I'll be given a listening ear because I have a platform, I have a basis, I have somewhere I could start from.
For the presenters, they get the exposure in that the whole world is seeing them.
Different institutions have different curriculums, and from the Media Challenge we merge the different schools. You'd see how an institution like UMCAT handles their journalism, and you'd juxtaposition it to the way Makerere handles, and you'd pick out a few and see where you could better.
Because every other point after that, anything that seemed to be somewhat impossible and all of that, no, I reminded myself and said, you know what, I held an anchoring award, and yet I didn't even ever think that I would be there.
And also, it helps you to get to know what place to specialize in as you're pursuing your career. For example, I for one thought I was more affiliated to the print media, but then the Media Challenge was an eye-opener. I got to realize I was basically designed or framed for the broadcast media. Yes.
Something. So the network with the actual students was a good thing that we shall live to actually use.
So this is serious competition.
The Media Challenge just happened to me as a blessing, and I'm very happy. It's a fellowship for a year and then later be retained. But of course you can only be retained when you show that you really have to be retained. And I think I have done my best. I have no complaints whatsoever. I do not regret. I'm just happy. I'm just thinking, if I were eligible to compete again, I would even come and take part. I just like the Media Challenge competition. I always like to look at myself in the other group.